Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Chris Bellaci and Kathleen Cohen from holoride to give their perspective of their experience with their awesome immersive experiences.
You checked it out.
All
Thanks,
right.
Jay. Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing? It's like blinding, but I think I can see you. Anyway, AWE community, welcome. I always call this like speed dating, 25 minutes, like in and out. Amy and I did this last year, and it was like, hey, we want more. But given the fact that we do this so fast and we're a mobility company, I'm like, we're on brand, it's all good. Anyway, I'm Kathleen Cohen. This is my colleague and friend, Chris Bellaci, and we're gonna take you on a short journey. So this is it. This was the moment. This was the moment that coined the title of this sexy talk, right? Finding Vegas VR Nirvana in the backseat of a '67 DeVille. My grandma drove one of those. Next slide. So the idea that holoride combines real car data, open map positional data, and unique player content, this is totally in alignment with everything that I stand behind and I talk about in the industry. So how we converge three planes on a screen, well, in real world, on a screen, and in world, those three planes. That convergence point is what I talk about as a tribrid moment and tribrid design. So that's what sold me to become an advisory board member to holoride, looking at the long view of immersive engagement and experiences. So this is what I call our Vanity Fair moment. They wanted to put me in the middle. I'm like, absolutely not. So anyway, the advisory board photo shoot. These are the founders in the back row with the holoride logo. That's Marcus, Nils, and Daniel. Yeah, and Daniel. Anyway, behind me, because I was just so taken with Palmer Luckey's Hawaiian shirt. Anyway, Palmer Luckey behind me, the Russo brothers to the left of him, who are the writer, producers, and directors of the Marvel Universe. Thomas Alt of ARKit, bottom right, and Dirk Auborn of Hyperloop, bottom left, with Greg Castle, Todd Makaroff, and also Clark Parsons, who's not in this photo, from Iconomy in Berlin. We and Clark together, we were sort of the origin of the Aurea Award community, which I'll talk about at Europa Park. But a little bit about me, I have a consultancy called the Collaboratorium, and we focus on three areas. We focus on XR research, predominantly indigenous communities and neurodivergent communities. Also client projects. They run the gamut. Gigacities, megacities, media and entertainment, health and wellness, gaming. I sort of get a call every day about something else, so it's always fun. And then public engagement, like what we're doing right now. I'm a tech humanist, that's what people call me, because I do a lot of social impact work and I care about humanity first values. And as an XR strategist, I was a futurist at one point, and I was like, I'm done. I'm a presentist. Like, we're here. There is no futurist. So that's kind of me. And when people ask me, how did I get here? Well, for those of us that have been creatives, it's a total non-linear path, as you can imagine. But the most important part here is where the orange arrow and the orange star are, because I was a glassblower. Like in my family, who does that? Glass architecture, industrial design, that was my happy place. And I got a call to get on the box in 1994. So SGI, Silicon Studios, that's where I was trained. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I can animate these things that I just made. Fast forward, really quickly, within a short period of time, I joined DreamWorks Interactive, which we were the first Medal of Honor team. So I went from building something, animating something, and now dropping it in a world. So for all of you that have played Mo, this was PSX 1 back in the day. So the point is, for the last 25 years, I've been looking at this convergence pipeline of in real life, on a screen, and in a world. So I've been championing this space ever since. Every year, I'm the jury chair for what I was talking about, Europa Park's Aurea Awards, which, if you've spent time in Germany, it's an hour from Basel. It's the second largest theme park to Disneyland Paris. Every year, we give 5 awards to the XR community, and in 2019, we gave the award to holoride. So this is how the marriage happened, and this is how I met Nils and the team, and I was just like, this is fantastic. So I couldn't be really more proud of a team of quality engineers, creatives, executive leadership, which, what did I say, like 19 nationalities represented, yep. Really diverse, on the forefront of conversation. And tomorrow at noon by the pool, if you want to come by, check it out, we're having a meetup. So with that, I would like to introduce you, my friend.
Hi, my name is Christopher Bellaci, and I'm the General Manager of North America at holoride. My background's in animation and visual effects, video games, and XR, and I've been in it for over 26 years. My first project in the industry was with pioneering motion capture studio House of Moves. I worked on Titanic, working on the digital people walking around, working on and eventually falling off the ship. Over the course of my career, I've worked on 150 plus video games and dozens of feature films, TV shows, music videos, location-based and themed entertainment, and XR. When you work in motion capture like I did, you get to work with all the verticals and you get to learn the language of each. I have my own version of holoride's origin story, which you can ask me about later offline, but for now, let's hear from our founders.
Sit back.
It all started with the idea of how to make time in the car more enjoyable for passengers on back seats, especially if you consider that for most passengers, transit time feels like wasted time.
Being passionate about new technologies and innovations by heart, we identified a huge potential with immersive in-car entertainment by providing motion and positional data of moving vehicles for mobile VR headsets in real time.
Our goal at holoride is to create experiences and games that people can actually feel. And to get there, what we did is we took the essence of a theme park ride, the motion feeling of a roller coaster, and put it into the journey of the car ride. And now, after 4 years of creative brainstorming, prototyping, and a ton of trial and error, we are finally at the point where we built this platform for virtual reality, immersive, motion synchronized experiences.
We spun out of the German premium car manufacturer Audi to make our technology available to any car manufacturer, device platform, or content creator. We're extremely happy that holoride is already available in Audi series production vehicles. And with the introduction of our retrofit solution, you can enjoy holoride in literally any car.
Our first series integration into Audi cars from November 2022 and the launch of our holoride retrofit solution from beginning of this year are remarkable milestones for our company. From now on, early adopters and enthusiasts can join us on this fantastic journey and provide their valuable feedback to see our product grow.
Also, a huge shout out to our stellar advisory board, which comes from the most diverse areas like entertainment, transportation, and technology. We'll always remember our first meeting when we all got together in person, which was incredibly inspiring and productive.
One of my personal highlights are all the creative sessions we had with the content studios. Seeing them using our Elastic SDK to bring their content vision alive is really fulfilling. And if you think about it, we are creating a new era of in-car entertainment, as we are the first and only company on this planet that provides such kind of technology as a platform. In the future, when more and more people will use holoride in their day-to-day lives, we will have the incredible opportunity to make VR a way more social experience. Think about jumping on the backseat of the car with your friends or your siblings and playing games together, or experiencing other types of content with holoriders all over the planet.
Also, the way we will use media in the future will change rapidly, driven by a digitally savvy, experience-oriented, and mobile-only generation. We are expecting a massive push in usage of digital immersive technologies. Doesn't matter if on screen-based devices, in augmented or virtual reality.
If we look more closely at the opportunities immersive technologies have to offer, mixed reality glasses will play a major role for in-car experiences. Who doesn't dream of being able to time travel while sitting in a car? Welcome to the Motorverse.
I love that, Nils. You know, the origin story of the Motorverse actually started here.
Right, so in January of 2019 at CES, holoride emerges from stealth. They were still a part of Audi at that point, and they showed off Rocket's Rescue Run from the Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy IP at the Las Vegas Speedway, generating lots of buzz and best of CES accolades from media outlets. And after showing off Rocket's Rescue Run, the spinoff from AUDI was announced and became official in March of 2019. For those of you in the audience who are familiar with Schell Games and founder / former Imagineer Jesse Schell, they did amazing development work on Rocket's Rescue Run and are our first and most important strategic content partner. And here's a look at what it took off to pull off that initial location-based VR experience at CES. Wow.
That was like 3 years and 30 patents later for that MVP, and I love this because, like, for those of us in this, the wired prototype in the back of a trunk, you're like, yes, this is what it's about. I love that so much.
Well, the way most people in the US XR community experienced holoride for the first time was via the Bride of Frankenstein experience at Universal Studios in Hollywood in the fall of 2019.
How many people actually know Bride of Frankenstein or have done it? Just show of hands. Anyone?
Wow, I would.
All right.
Well,
We've been taking a poll. He's like, everybody knows that. I'm like,
everyone I've run
no,
into
it's-
knows it. Anyway, Universal was nice enough to lend us the IP for the project. Rewind, which is now the UK office of Magnopus, did the development work, and Ford provided the fleet of Explorers. Like Rocket's Rescue Run, Bride of Frankenstein was a location-based VR experience and tied to a specific route. Location-based VR was a great way to work with the Hollywood studios, a way to raise awareness of holoride with popular IP, and to test our technology under real-world conditions. At the same time that we were working to standardize our location-based solution, we were also working on what would eventually become our retrofit device that could make any car a holoride-ready vehicle. More on that in a bit, but here's a look at an early prototype. Check out the ingenious camouflage to disguise the prototype from prying eyes.
I know, I'm always like, we should have like a Burger King in branded entertainment on this one. So good.
So this is our, we'll call it our standardization of the LBVR approach, and we call it, it's a plug-and-play device we call the HBox that we developed for our location-based VR experience at the Porsche Experience Center. And here's that HBox mounted in the trunk of a Porsche Cayenne at the Porsche Experience Center in Carson, California. This is where I tried out holoride for the first time in March of 2020, and it was the day before COVID shut the world down at the invitation of my good friend Kathleen Cohen, who had just joined their advisory board. It was a location-based VR experience called Cosmic Chase, also developed by Schell Games, and was kind of like an interactive VR roller coaster except in a car. I thought it was great, but I didn't quite understand the business model at the time. I thought to myself, $100,000 plus Porsche Cayenne, professional driver, taking track time away from the rich people in their 911s. The business model didn't quite make sense to me. Then the pandemic hit, and I kind of forgot about holoride altogether until July of 2021, when the Elastic SDK and our partnership with Unity was announced at GDC, enabling all would-be XR developers to create content that incorporate a vehicle's motion and location data anywhere that there are 3D mapped roads. This was kind of my aha moment that this was going to be a consumer-facing device and not just a location-based VR experience, and that holoride wanted to put this technology in all cars everywhere. I thought to myself, good for them, I hope they kill it. Little did I know that about a week after the Elastic SDK announcement at GDC, Kathleen tells me that holoride's looking for someone to represent them in Los Angeles, and my initial thought was this Venn diagram.
I talked to Nils on the phone. I was like, Nils, I got a person. I got a guy, I got a girl, but I actually got a person. I got somebody who's like a car person, a motorcycle car fanatic. This guy has been in media and entertainment for 25 years. He's been 6 years in XR. I think I found your person.
Yeah. So I joined holoride in September of 2021 to head up business development and strategic partnerships in Los Angeles, and with the primary focus being on content for the holoride platform. Speaking of content, we like to refer to content as 5 pillars.
So, fully immersive, tell me about it.
High production value, immersive 3D games, coupled with more casual fare. A lot of it's 2D-based games that were originally designed for the Android phone, but presented in a motion-synchronized 3D environment.
And browse?
An important pillar for us, imagine 2D internet and video content, anything you want, YouTube, TikTok, Netflix, that streamed inside of a motion-synchronized 3D theater.
I love after 25, almost 30 years, that edutainment is still holding its own, so tell me about edutainment.
Sure. A shining example is Bookful. It's an app that presents educational content in a motion-synchronized 3D call it interactive ebook format.
Wellness and mindfulness, because I'm all over that one.
Right, sure. Meditation wellness style content to relax while you're in transit. Not available yet on the holoride platform, but on our content roadmap.
And as a producer of many, many years, productivity is kind of what I'm interested in, so just tell me a little bit about that one too.
Sure. I mean, we call it making transit time count. Imagine being able to take a Zoom call or while you're in the back of the car, or work on a presentation or a spreadsheet, or even just read email in a comfortable, immersive way. I know there are a lot of people that can't even take a look at a text on their phone or look at full motion video. So our hope is that this will be a way of them doing that comfortably. Also not available quite yet, but on our content roadmap. In October of 2021, Facebook announced that they were rebranding as Meta and would focus on the next step in compute, i.e. spatial computing, i.e. the metaverse. Shortly thereafter, our founder, Niels Wolny, coined the term motorverse to describe holoride's take on the metaverse concept. Fun fact, I floated Niels' metaverse idea at the Infinity Festival that November to industry luminaries Charlie Fink and Tony Parisi, and they loved the idea. We're going to empower people with motion synchronized experiences to move freely between the static metaverse and the dynamic motorverse. And although holoride had announced its intention to build a blockchain-based ecosystem for this motorverse, it was the launch of our ride token in November of 2021 on the Elrond blockchain, which was later rebranded as Multiverse X, that was the first public manifestation of our efforts in the blockchain space. Why blockchain? We like to call it transparency by design. And why Elrond? Our founder Niels was able to work directly with the founders, the Elrond founders, on the concept, which is unusual. Transaction speeds were high and costs were low, and blockchain can have harmful environmental impact, so the beauty of the Elrond blockchain is that it's carbon negative. The ride token itself promotes engagement and investment and with the community, and will eventually provide a medium of exchange for goods and services in both the motorverse and the metaverse. In February of 2022, we announced our partnership with HTC at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. They were our first official VR hardware partner and have been extraordinarily supportive. And the HTC Vive Flow is the first holoride-ready device, which has a fabulous form factor for the car. The next month, our series integration partnership was announced at South by Southwest in Austin. It was with Audi. And our series integration for us means that our tech is directly installed in the vehicle during assembly. Audi, of course, is our first official OEM partner for obvious reasons. The series integration solution can take advantage of a vehicle's external sensors like cameras and LiDAR and integrate the data that they generate in real time to the in-vehicle XR experience. We consider it our premium solution. However, for holoride to make business and commercial sense, we need to be an agnostic platform across the board. We want to work with all the game engines, but we had to start somewhere, so we started with Unity. We want to work with all immersive devices, but we had to start somewhere, so we started with the HTC Vive Flow. We want to work with all the car manufacturers, but we had to start somewhere, so we started at Audi. You get the idea. In November of last year, we announced the holoride platform launch in Germany, and our technology was available in select Audi models at the time. Our big launch title was Cloud Breakers. Think Gundam Wing meets Star Fox, also developed by Schell Games. And holoride's platform is the world's first platform for motion and location-aware in-vehicle experiences. And the platform connects car manufacturers with content creators and passengers. It enables content creators to develop for standardized XR devices via our Elastic SDK, as opposed to developing for proprietary in-vehicle technology. When I would talk to developers, I would often get this, hey, we've been trying to get in cars for years, but the landscape is too fragmented and the tech is there's too many different technology approaches to it, but the holoride platform solves this problem. We then went on to announce our US launch at CES this past January and the availability of our retrofit, which will turn any car into a holoride-ready vehicle. To emphasize the point that the retrofit can make any vehicle holoride ready, we had a 67 Cadillac DeVille convertible as one of our demo cars at CES. I was in the back seat for a number of those, onboarding the riders, and had several of them tell me that this was easily the coolest demo at CES. Vegas VR Nirvana indeed. Take a look. Also announced at CES in 2023 was the adaptation of AUDI's popular Pixel Rip franchise to the holoride platform in the form of Pixel Rip 1995 On the Road.
How many people know Pixel Ripped? Show of hands.
Okay.
All right, we're getting better.
That's
this is
fair.
good.
That's better. Much more an adaptation than a straight port because it had to be reimagined for the in-vehicle experience and re-engineered using our Elastic software development kit. This is going to be the case for virtually all existing VR titles that were developed for they call it the static metaverse as opposed to the dynamic motorverse. Ultimately, we think that CES 2023 was extraordinarily successful for holoride, and some notable media outlets agreed, as you can see here.
Yeah, there's some good stuff up there.
Now, while the premium experience will be the series integration approach for the foreseeable future, we see our retrofit solution in the pack we have pictured here as the key to mass adoption, since we can't scale quickly enough if we wait for series integrated vehicles to be built and produced. There are approximately 180 million private passenger cars in the United States operating right now, and approximately 200 million of them in Europe, whose average ages are 11 and 14 years respectively. That's a lot of potential retrofit sales in those two markets by themselves. So what's next? Supporting the digital in-cabin experience across all devices. As many of you may have seen, Meta recently showed a prototype mixed reality experience in partnership with BMW.
That was like 2 weeks ago? Yeah.
Which of course led an extraordinary number of colleagues reaching out to me, asking me if I'd seen it. I said, of course I have. And my reaction to the announcement was that, a rising tide lifts all boats, and this validates our founder's vision. Ultimately, I think it's great for in-vehicle XR in general, and for holoride in particular. Talking about our ecosystem, we built it to act as the bridge between the automotive and the XR industries, which will in turn unlock numerous mobility use cases. The automotive and XR industries benefit from what we've accomplished via our Elastic SDK, which allows for the development of XR experiences specifically for moving vehicles, via our ride token, which will facilitate commerce on the move in the motorverse, our platform, which provides the connectivity between car manufacturers, content creators, and passengers, and ultimately our retrofit, which will allow us to scale much more quickly than the series integration solution by itself, benefiting both car dealers and developers. Ultimately, holoride's about moving from the driver-focused economy to the passenger-focused economy. Obviously, the advent of autonomous vehicles will accelerate this transition dramatically.
Yeah, I see this as sort of like, every story is a journey, which Nils has said, and it's a hero's journey. And we couldn't be better set up from moving from A to B and developing what that experience is. And for me, it's physical, digital, and virtual as that convergence.
Future AI tools will improve virtually every aspect of the holoride ecosystem, particularly content quality via more personalized and more interactive experiences, as well as via more precise vehicle motion and location data, thereby leading to, we'll call it, more comfortable, more immersive, and engaging and location-aware experiences.
So how can you guys get involved? At holoride, follow us on our social, check out our website and our newsroom. Obviously, sign up for access to our Elastic SDK via the creator space, which is a link on our website. We're trying to build long-term relationships and engagements with everybody here. So as Nils and the holoride team would say, pretty much right on. So thank you, everyone. I don't know, Jay, if we have time for questions.
We do not.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I'm sure you can find Chris and Kathleen wandering
out.
the halls for the
We're
next
out.
2 days. We are out.
Not even nothing.
I apologize. Yeah, we got a tight schedule
come
today.
talk to us. All right.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.